The A7S III is almost 2 years old now, and I'm starting to get tired of this camera for being so. I just want to start this video out by saying welcome back, hope everything is good with you, and I'm currently cleaning out here in the studio, trying to get some organization done because it has been chaos the entire summer. Haven't done anything in the studio to get it to the point where I want it to be, so right now it is just things everywhere, but hopefully getting to a level where we feel that everything is in place pretty soon. However though, if this is your first time watching, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. If you liked the video, do give it a thumbs up once you're done watching. What I want to talk about in this video is the A7S III, because it is a 2-year-old camera now. I know some people are gonna say like, hey, 2 years is not old, but in this day and age, it actually is kind of old because technology is moving so incredibly fast. But on the flip side though, it doesn't feel like an old camera. I have been using this camera now in and out for the last 2 years for everything that I have done on this YouTube channel when it comes to my filmmaking stuff, when it comes to client stuff, and everything that you can imagine that a camera can do, I have been doing with this camera. I know that some of you that might be watching this video is going to buy your first camera for the first time, and some of you might be looking at the A7S III as your first camera, but think like, are Sony going to release something that is better, that is going to come soon, that's cheaper, and this and that? I honestly don't have any clue what Sony is going to drop, but what I do know is that this camera is still a good buy. The biggest reason that I think that this camera still holds up to this day is solely because of the image quality that you get out of this camera. I have yet to be disappointed when it comes to any sort of frame rate that you're shooting in, any sort of bit rate. I'm shooting mostly my vlogs in 8-bit, as you probably have seen on Gerald's video. If you haven't, head over there and check that out because that is a fun video. The reason that I'm shooting 8-bit on my videos is mainly because I'm saving a lot of space when I'm shooting a lot of video during the day. If I do something that is a little bit more demanding, or if I want to make sure that I have the colors right and have the possibility to color grade stuff, that is when I move into the 10-bit space of this camera. And there's been so many times where I've been looking through the footage of this camera and thinking to myself like, how good does this look coming from a camera this size? It is by far not the best camera on the market, but it's definitely one of the best cameras that I have used for such a long period of time. And as I said in the beginning of this video, I'm starting to get tired of this camera because it's so good no matter what kind of things that I throw at it. One of the biggest downsides with the camera that makes me want to get another camera has of course been the low megapixel count. It doesn't really matter if you have the right lens for what you're going to shoot, but if you don't have the right lens, then it's gonna be very hard to frame that and crop in when you get into post. And now I'm mainly talking about photos, because when you're shooting photos with this, you do get a really crisp looking photo, but as soon as you start to crop in a little bit on that shot, the entire image kind of starts to degrade pretty quickly because you don't have that many pixels to move around with. But since I'm personally mainly doing videos with this camera, I haven't found it to be that big of an issue, and I also have the possibility to buy the lenses that I need in order to get the shot that I want. But for example, if you have a very limited amount of lenses and you're probably shooting more photos than video, then this camera might not be for you. There was a point when the FX3 was released that I didn't really know why the FX3 was released, and I made a video about the FX3 saying that I don't know who this is for because it was basically the same camera as this one but in different package. The more that I've seen the FX3 being used by different kind of content creators, I also think that that has its place as well, but I still don't feel any sort of need to upgrade my A7S III to the FX3 because I don't see it as an upgrade per se, because there's nothing that you get in the FX3 except for the different menus that I can't have in this camera? Well, I mean, like, of course you get the different body and all that stuff, which looks good, and you get the tile lights, but for the things that I do, I don't really need those things. Of course, it would be great to have a tile light on the camera. It would be great to have the different kind of menu, because I do like the FX3 menu a whole lot more than the A7S III, but then again, the A7S III is one of the best cameras that I've used to this day. And the entire reason that I want to make this video was because I was sitting here in the studio looking through my old videos and then found a video from when this camera was released back in 2020. And to think that it's been 2 years since this camera was released, I am actually kind of amazed of how good it still is. And this video is not sponsored by Sony in any sort of way. They didn't ask me to make this video. I just wanted to make this video for myself, because if you're looking in to buy a new camera and you're looking at the A7S III, I still want you to know that if you can get a good deal on this camera, it's probably gonna be good for another, I don't know, 2 to 3 years, without exaggerating anything. But with that said, I'm not really locked into Sony cameras, and I would love to try something different just for the fun of it, because I know this camera inside out now, and I feel like for me to develop as a videographer and photographer, trying something new is always going to be good for me in order to progress my skills further than what I am right now. 2 years down the line, I am still finding this camera to be one of the absolute best cameras that I have ever used. And to quote my good old friend, it's pretty much perfect. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and all the good stuff. Take care, have a good one. Peter från Sweden saying goodbye. Hej då.